Imagine, in the vast emptiness of the Sahara Desert, where time seems to have stood still for thousands of years, something remains standing tall against the sandstorms and the scorching sun. It is a legacy from a grand past, one that still asks us today, who are we really? And what secrets did our ancestors hide from the world? Have you ever wondered why the greatest structures of the ancient world possess a precision that even today's laser technology struggles to match? Or perhaps the history we've been taught is just a fragment of a truth distorted by time. Today, I will take you on a journey through time to the land of the Nile, to uncover 10 unexplained secrets of ancient Egypt that even the world's greatest scientists still cannot fully explain. Get ready, because this journey might change the way you look at human history forever. We begin our journey at the Great Pyramid of Giza, the only wonder of the ancient world that still stands today. Picture this. This pyramid is made of over 2,300,000 blocks of limestone and granite. Each block weighs an average of 2 to 15 tons, and some weigh as much as 80 tons. But what truly baffles engineers and mathematicians worldwide isn't just its size, it's the superhuman precision. The pyramid is aligned with true north, with an error of only 3/60ths of a degree. Think about it. In an era without compasses, without a clear North Star like we have today, how could they determine direction with such incredible accuracy? And that's not all. The four sides of the pyramid's base are almost exactly the same length, with a difference of no more than 2 inches, across an area of over 13 acres. Furthermore, mathematicians have found that the pyramid's proportions are linked to the values of pi and phi, or the golden ratio, mathematical concepts that humanity only came to understand much later. Then there's the mortar used to join the stones. Scientists have analyzed its chemical composition, but believe it or not, we still can't replicate it today. It's stronger than the stones themselves, and it acts as an incredible shock absorber against earthquakes, allowing the pyramid to stand for over 4,500 years. And think about the casing stones that once covered the pyramid. In the past, the pyramid didn't have the rough surface we see today. It was covered in pure white limestone, polished until it gleamed, like a giant mirror reflecting the sun, visible from miles away. Do you really think this was the work of slaves using only ropes and wooden beams? Or was there some technology lost to history, something that allowed them to control matter and gravity at will? If we look up at the night sky over the Giza Plateau, we see the constellation of Orion, which the ancient Egyptians believed was the symbol of Osiris, the god of death and rebirth. But the stunning secret is the positions of the 3 largest pyramids, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, align perfectly with Orion's belt. This theory was proposed by Robert Bauval. He noticed that the 3 pyramids aren't in a perfectly straight line. The 3rd pyramid is slightly offset, matching the position of the star Mintaka in the Orion constellation exactly. But what makes the heart beat even faster is calculating the star's positions back to 10,500 BC. In that era, the alignment between the pyramids and Orion was absolutely perfect. This raises a crucial question. If the pyramids were built around 2500 BC, as history books say, why do they reflect the sky from 10,000 years ago? Could it be that Egyptian civilization has roots much older than we ever imagined? And did they want to leave a time code for future generations to realize their ancient greatness? Additionally, inside the pyramid, there are air shafts pointing directly toward key constellations like Orion and Sirius. It's as if these pyramids weren't just tombs, but power plants or stargates, helping to send the pharaoh's soul back to the stars from which they came. Do you believe in this theory, or is it just the greatest coincidence in human history? For me, looking at this level of precision, coincidence seems like far too simple an answer. We often think that after 4,000 years, we know every nook and cranny of the Great Pyramid. But the truth is, we've only just begun to explore its true heart. In 2017, the Scan Pyramids project used cosmic ray technology to look through the thick stone walls, and what they found shook the world of archaeology. There is a big void hidden above the Grand Gallery. This space is at least 30 meters long, and it has been sealed for over 4,500 years, without anyone ever suspecting its existence. No one knows what's inside. There's no obvious entrance, no signs of tomb robbers. Some archaeologists believe it might be the true treasure chamber of Pharaoh Khufu, hidden in plain sight. Or perhaps it holds sacred scrolls or the lost knowledge of a prehistoric civilization. And more recently, in March 2023, they found a hidden corridor above the pyramid's main entrance, 9 meters long and 2 meters wide. Why did the Egyptians build these inaccessible rooms? What were they trying to hide from the world? Or were these built for some engineering purpose, like reducing the weight pressing down on the chambers below? But if that's the case, why make it so secret? Imagine if one day we could send tiny drones into those rooms and find that the history we've believed all our lives is just a story. The truth waiting for us might be more incredible than we can imagine. What if I told you that the ancient Egyptians could cut granite, one of the hardest stones on Earth, as smoothly as if they were using a laser cutter? Would you believe me? We're often taught they used only copper chisels and polishing stones, but copper is a very soft metal. It can't even scratch granite. So how did they do it? Look at the Serapeum of Saqqara. There are over 20 massive stone sarcophagi there, each weighing 70 to 100 tons, crafted from solid granite and basalt. The incredible thing is, the inner surfaces of these boxes are straight and parallel with industrial precision. Every corner is a perfect right angle, and the surfaces are as smooth as glass. The question is, how did they do this in the darkness of underground tunnels? Christopher Dunn, a British engineer, measured the flatness of these boxes and found an error of only a few microns, something even modern machinery would struggle to achieve. Or look at the unfinished obelisk in Aswan. It has strange excavation marks that look like a giant machine scooped the stone out like ice cream. There's a fascinating theory that they might have used acoustic energy or high-frequency vibration to separate the stone's molecules. Or perhaps they had a way to soften the stone with chemicals before shaping it as they pleased. Even today, marks from high-speed drills are still visible on granite slabs in Giza. The consistent saw marks indicate a pressure far beyond what human labor could produce. Where do you think the secret of this technology went? Or was it intentionally erased from history to make us believe that people in the past were less advanced than us? We've arrived at the Valley of the Kings, heading toward tomb KV62, the most famous tomb in the world, belonging to the young boy king, Pharaoh Tutankhamun. The discovery of his tomb by Howard Carter in 1922 was a world-changing event. But the secrets hidden within his mummy are even more surprising than the vast amount of gold. First is the iron dagger tucked at the mummy's waist. Believe it or not, in Tutankhamun's time, humans didn't know how to smelt iron. So, where did this blade come from? When scientists analyzed this dagger using X-ray technology, they found it has a very high content of nickel and cobalt, which is only found in meteorites. This is a dagger from outer space, forged from the metal of heaven. How did the ancient Egyptians know that stones falling from the sky were iron? And how did they have the technology to forge meteoric iron into a blade that remains sharp and rust-free after thousands of years? And then there's the burnt mummy. When scientists performed an autopsy, they found Tutankhamun's body was covered in an unusually large amount of resin, which caused a chemical reaction known as spontaneous combustion. Why was this done? There's a theory that this was an attempt to turn Tutankhamun into the god Osiris, the god with black skin, for a perfect rebirth. Or did his sudden death cause the mummification process to be rushed, leading to a mistake? But the most chilling part is the missing heart. Normally, the heart is the only organ that must remain in the mummy, because Egyptians believed it was the seat of the soul and memory. But where did Tutankhamun's heart go? Or did he not travel to the afterlife like other pharaohs? Did someone intentionally try to block his rebirth? Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king. Lord Carnarvon, the financial backer of the excavation, died just 4 months after opening the tomb from an infected mosquito bite. It's said that at the moment he passed away in a Cairo hotel, the electricity across the entire city flickered and died mysteriously. And at that same moment, back at his home in England, his favorite dog howled and died right after its master. And he wasn't the only one. Over 20 people involved died unnaturally later on, from an American millionaire who visited the tomb and died of pneumonia, to Lord Carnarvon's own brother who died of sepsis. Science tries to explain this, saying it might be ancient fungi like Aspergillus niger that built up in the sealed tomb over thousands of years. Inhaling a large amount could be fatal. But what about you? Do you believe in science, or in a mystical power placed there to protect their king? There's also the story of Howard Carter's canary, which was eaten by a cobra, the symbol of the pharaoh, on the day the tomb was opened, as if it were an omen that the pharaoh was coming back to reclaim his peace. Perhaps some secrets should not be disturbed, and that curse might not just be a story, but a warning sent from the past to the present. We head south to the Temple of Seti I in Abydos, one of the oldest cities in Egypt. Here, on a high, dimly lit stone beam, there are hieroglyphs that make the whole world rub their eyes, because they look like a helicopter, a tank, and a jet plane. Think about it. These images were carved 3,000 years ago, in an age when humans still rode war chariots and used copper swords. Egyptologists try to explain this with a theory called palimpsest, or carving names over each other. When Pharaoh Ramesses II ordered his name to be carved over his father's, Seti I. Over time, the plaster that once filled the old carvings peeled away, causing the lines of both names to overlap, accidentally creating shapes that look like modern machinery. But is it really possible that overlapping lines by chance would result in a helicopter with a rotor, a body, and a perfect tail? There's an even more exciting theory, the ancient astronauts theory, which believes that people in the past saw advanced technology and tried to record it in a way they understood. Or perhaps the Egyptians once experimented with flight, because in Saqqara, we discovered the Saqqara bird, a wooden model with incredibly aerodynamic shapes. When tested in a wind tunnel, it was found that it could actually glide. This secret remains a never-ending debate between archaeological coincidence and evidence of lost technology. What do you see in those carvings? Or did the ancient Egyptians have a knowledge of the skies far beyond what we imagine? Imagine the vast Egyptian desert stretching as far as the eye can see. Beneath those sands, it's not just emptiness, but entire cities lost from the pages of history. For 100 years, we thought, We had discovered almost all of ancient Egypt, until space technology changed that belief entirely. Dr. Sarah Parcak, a space archaeologist, used satellites with high-resolution infrared cameras to scan the Earth's surface from hundreds of miles up. These cameras can detect differences in temperature and density beneath the ground. And what she found stunned the world. There are over 17 more unexcavated pyramids, over 1,000 tombs, and over 3,000 ancient houses buried deep beneath the sand. And most incredible was the discovery of Tanis, the ancient capital that once flourished. Satellite images revealed a perfect city plan, with streets, buildings, and temples that we haven't seen with the naked eye for thousands of years. The question is, why was such a grand empire abandoned and swallowed by the sand? There's a theory that climate change and the shifting of the Nile were the main reasons these cities became ghost towns. But there are still many secret cities yet to be found, like the Golden City near Luxor, discovered only in 2021, which is the largest industrial and residential city ever found. Today, we've only excavated the tip of the iceberg. Think about it. What other secrets are waiting in the remaining 99% sleeping under the sand? Perhaps the greatest truth of Egypt hasn't even been found yet. Among the many gods of Egypt, none have an image as formidable and mysterious as Anubis, the god with the head of a black jackal. Ancient Egyptians believed Anubis was the guardian of the secrets of mummification and the guide for souls to the Hall of Judgment. But the real secret is, why a black jackal? In ancient times, wild dogs or jackals often dug up bodies in cemeteries. The Egyptians used the principle of fighting fire with fire, creating a god in the form of a dog to turn a threat into a protector. In the weighing of the heart ceremony, Anubis would oversee the scales, placing the deceased's heart on one side and the feather of truth of the goddess Ma'at on the other. If the heart was heavier than the feather, that soul would be devoured by the monster Amit. There are mysterious stories from archaeologists that, during the excavation of important tombs, a large black dog is often seen wandering around the Valley of the Kings, vanishing without a trace when anyone tries to get close. Is Anubis still performing his duty of protecting the pharaoh's secrets to this day? And is he watching us to see if we are worthy of the secrets he guards? We've reached the final secret, which might be the key to unlocking all the mysteries of human civilization. What lies deep underground? Beneath the Giza Plateau, there aren't just the pyramids we see. There's a network of tunnels and chambers, connected like a massive labyrinth. Ancient historians like Herodotus once recorded the Labyrinth of Egypt, which he said was even grander and more complex than the pyramids. It had 3,000 rooms, half above ground and half below, serving as a repository for the secrets of kings and gods. Today, we haven't officially found this labyrinth yet, but underground scans using GPR technology have found a massive structure hidden under the sand in Hawara, exactly where Herodotus said it would be. And we can't forget the secret under the Sphinx. There's a famous theory about the Hall of Records, believed to hold the knowledge of a lost civilization like Atlantis. Geologists like Dr. Robert Schoch studied the erosion on the Sphinx and found signs of heavy rainwater erosion. This means the Sphinx must have been built in an era when Egypt still had heavy rainfall, which was over 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. This is evidence suggesting that a flourishing civilization with advanced technology existed long before the ancient Egyptians we know. And were they the true builders of the pyramids and the Sphinx? These secrets remain sealed for reasons of security or belief. But the whispers from underground still reach us, waiting for the day humanity is ready to embrace the true truth of our own origins. Our journey through the 10 secrets of Egypt today might leave you with more questions than answers. But that is the magic of this civilization. The more we search, the more we find how little we truly know. Ancient Egypt isn't just about the dead or tombs, it's a lesson passed down to future generations. A story of the effort to transcend human limits and connect ourselves to the universe. Every stone at Giza, every hieroglyph at Abydos, and every grain of sand in the Sahara has a story waiting to be proven. Egypt isn't just dead history, it's a living enigma, reminding us that this world still has many secrets waiting to be found, if we are brave enough to open our hearts and begin the journey. Thank you for traveling through time with us today. I hope these stories bring you good dreams and that you wake up with the inspiration to see the world in a new light.